Hello and welcome. My name is Meepless, she, they, and this is Literally Graphic. And today I'm doing a wrap-up review of the second part of Hikaru No Go by Yumi Hotta and Takashi Obata, supervised by Yukari Umezawa, 5Dan, with translation and adaptation by Naoko Amemiya. And to be honest, we are mostly talking about this series because despite wanting to finally finish a series I had picked up several times before, I would not have been able to finish it without a self-imposed deadline like this. Certainly not a long series by shonen standards, the number of manga series I've actually read from start to finish remains embarrassingly low. If you haven't read this series yet, I would encourage you to look back at my initial thoughts review. I will be talking spoilers shortly. Jumping in at volume 12, Hikaru has just gone pro, hot on the heels of his rival Akira Toya, with Sai by his side. Hikaru catches more than a few people cheating in various ways. Sai finally gets to play the top Go player, Akira's father Toya Maijin, causing the master to retire. And suddenly Sai becomes very anxious because he senses the end is near. Why? I certainly never figured it out. Then, when it does happen, Hikaru is understandably deeply emotionally affected, almost gives up Go, only to realize that this is the way to continue to feel connected to Sai. We jump around to flesh out some of the other side characters more. Reinvigorated, Hikaru must make up for a lot of lost ground, with at least a few people wondering why he is weaker now than when they played him previously. And then we conclude with the final plot arc about the Hokuto Cup, a new tournament for the top players under 18 from Japan, Korea, and China. There's shit-talking and a lot of commentary about each member of each team. There's plenty of drama. And in the end, the Japanese team loses, but they are all left looking hopefully into the future. The main thing that initially attracted me to the series and kept me going through most of it was the use of sports manga format, but about a board game. I'll read a proper sports manga sometime, well, besides ping pong, but for now this is the totality of my interest in sports manga. Plus, I love Sai. I initially thought his departure would spell the end of my interest in the series, but then we got some more character development, which was also nice. Hikaru and company really shoot up too, so it was nice to feel like the characters we were following were growing up. Ultimately, though, the ending felt like it was written for a completely different series. Doing some vague Googling, I guess there was some IRL drama that led to the curtailed manga. And that rather than pursue the divine move, Sai was only with Hikaru to pass on his knowledge to the next person / step towards the divine move. Well, this does make some sense. I really don't think that was very well communicated in the books themselves. Do I take consolation in being part of a community of disappointed fans now? Lol. I guess there's a movie, too, that is after this ending. I also didn't like how much time in the Hokuto Cup plot arc was spent with people talking about each other. At points, it felt like a lot of endless commentary that wasn't moving almost anything forward. Up until the final arc, however, the writing continued to be very well crafted, in my opinion, holding my attention more than you might expect. The art, too, was all very well done, in my humble opinion. The representation, however, continued to largely hold the series back. The presentation of women in particular felt pretty backwards for being published in my lifetime. Being a part of several traditionally misogynistic communities that perhaps overlap with the professional Go scene in this area, this is still a fictional setting. With this second half of the series, there was maybe one female player just below Hikaru's level trying to go pro. She's at least struggling in a similar way to her male peers, but there are so many nameless women who are entirely defined by their service roles. This crosses over into the sexuality question, something I was pretty glad that 99% of the series jumped right over and ignored. The only issue, once again, was that the one person who goes on a date is a female player. Then when her blind date is intimidated by her being comfortable in a Go cafe and leaves her, this apparently adds another item to her list of reasons to stop playing Go. With the final plot arc focusing on a tournament between China, Korea, and Japan, it felt like we got a wide diversity of looks for the characters, which was nice. That said, I did wonder if some fell into the realm of caricature, something to keep in mind and try in research going forward. Class wasn't really explored in the series, although once in a blue moon, one of the side characters was limited by a lack of all the cash. There is one medical emergency, but Go Master Toya Maijin basically just powers through it, and disability was not really touched on. Considering it was shown in manga, I did end up rating most of the second half 3 out of 5 stars minus the last 3 volumes that I rated 2 out of 5 stars. Bye y'all, keep reading and resist white supremacy. And Literally Graphic is created on land that should be given back to the traditional landholders, which in this case is, to my knowledge, the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, an Anishinaabe people, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat Nation.